Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today we're going to make another princess bracelet. This time we're going to do Rapunzel. We're going to take a standard single loom. It's going to be in an offset configuration. That means that columns 1 and 3 are going to be the same height, but column 2 is going to be a little bit higher. You're going to need yellow, you're going to need a flesh tone colour, you're going to need a red band, and you're going to need 2 little seed beads, E-beads. I use the size 6, they're the small ones, but you can use a different size one, or you can even use bands if that's what you prefer. We're going to double band. That means that you take 2 bands at the same time, put them on top of each other, and you place them over the pegs as if it was one band. And that makes your construct a little bit more firm, easier to handle, not as flimsy. So we will get started here. Push down because we're going to be layering this. I'm going to put an end cap here. So wrap it around this peg. I'm using a hook to help me because these bands are extremely tight. There we go. I'm going to put her eyes on. When I'm using the little eyes like this, I go diagonally from here to here. When I'm using the bigger eyes, I use one band and put them both on it, and I stretch it across. But for this, what I've done is I've tied a little knot at the back. I've threaded my bead on, and then I've tied a knot on the band after the bead is on it. That pokes the eye up a little bit higher so it doesn't get lost in the face, and I just prefer it that way. We're going to put a single band as a crossover band and another one across here like that, and then we're going to do a whole bunch of yellows. We're going to start again double banding, 2 up here and another one here, and this is going to give us our layered effect of hair. And then we're going to do 2 here and 2 here, and then we're going to go all the way to the bottom of the loom with 2, and this forms the bracelet, either side of the bracelet. So effectively you could take any face of any character or loom that has been made. So for example, if you happen to like PG's zombie, you could just do the zombie face and then do a corresponding bracelet down columns 1 and 3. Or if you liked Marloom's strawberry shortcake, you could do something similar. Just remember, give credit where credit is due. Now I'm going to put end caps, oops, we haven't got one here, end caps on both of these, stretch a single band, figure 8 it, either 3 or 4 times around, There we go. So we've got our crossover bands, we've got our end cap, we have our eyes. I think we're ready to loom, except for this little end cap which is deciding to have a life of its own. We're going to go under and push that end cap out of the way to grab those two bands. Hold the end cap in your hand as you pull this up. I've left a band there somewhere. I've only got one. There he is. Loom up. When you get to the face, you're going to just loom in the two bands for the hair, which in this case are yellow. You are going to leave the skin tone coloured bands exactly where they are. Once you get to here, we're going to go back down to the bottom, push the end cap out the way, and we will move forward again, looming up. Here. Now what we're going to do is be taking these two off the loom, but we want to do the side that these bands on either side here, whichever one is on top. Now in my case these ones are on top, they are higher up than these ones here, therefore this side has to go first. So what we're going to do is take these bands off the loom, just row 1 and 2, hold it to the side. I'm going to go down past that end cap and grab these two bands and loom them across to here. We're then going to dig down and grab the two bands at the base here and loom up. And now we're going to put these bands back, but instead of putting them on row 1, we're going to move them down and put them on row 2. And there's a lot of bands, so it's easy to fall off. Next we're going to go all the way down and grab those two yellow, in this case, band, and loom that up. If it's tight, put your band and just wriggle it around the back side of this peg to loosen it up. I'm going to do the same on this side. Take these two, rows 1 and 2, off the loom. Dig down past that end cap and grab these top two skin toned bands. Now we're going to dig down here and find the bottom two skin tone bands. We're now going to replace these bands not onto the first row, the second row. Okay, push down if you have to. Now we're going to dig down and find those bottom two yellow bands and loom them up. Wiggle your hook around to loosen that up. We're now going to loom to the side of her head, and then from her chin up. Go in past that end cap, grab the two bands and loom up and grab the two last yellow bands and loom up. We're going to get two yellow bands because they're the same colour as her hair. Dig our hook in and poke it out the side. Put the two bands on, twist your hook so the smooth side goes against the bands, and reclaim your end of your bands on your hook. Take the two closest to you, lift them up, over and off, and tighten in a slip knot. Now we're ready to take our little creation off the loom. Gently does it, you don't want to rip any bands, and for that very reason I use the back of a metal crochet hook. When you get to the very bottom, I just leave these on because it just means that it's stretched a little bit, makes it easier for me to put my clip on, and I have been using a Q-clip for bracelets. I'll show you what that is. A Q-clip is a little clip that actually locks into itself and is far more secure than I find the S-clip or the C-clip. All you do is slide your bands in here and take that off the loom, and then we are going to find the other side and slide them in. That is great. Push this down to the side, and it can be a bit tricky when you've got lots and lots of bands on it and nails that particularly like to break. There we go. Bit of brute force never hurt anyone. Push that into place and you can see it's locked into place. There we go. Now poke her eyes out. We're going to get rid of this little loop bit on top of her hair by discreetly hiding it under some of the bands at the back of her head, and we will then clip it to the same clip that we're going to use to do her mouth. To do her mouth, my favourite part, I'm going to stab her through the face, grab one side of a red band and pull it through, and then do the same on the other side of her face and grab the other end and pull it through. Reclaim both of those ends of the red bands, and what I like to do is, how I tie off as well, is to take the nearest one to me and pull it up and over and off, so I'm only dealing with one band, and I like to do that to all of them. And then using an S clip or a C clip, really doesn't matter too much, I link that into place and then secure the other side as well. Like so. We're going to colour her eyes with a Sharpie so that she has some pupils. Like that. And then what I have been doing is just putting a few different coloured bands in the hair as bows from the time that she had her hair braided by the little girls in the village town square. So just take a couple of bands and put bows in her hair. And you can really pick any colour you like, and as many as you like, but I'll just use 2 for this example. And there we have Rapunzel on a little bracelet charm. I look forward to seeing some of yours. Take care.